Buen día, Robert. Gracias por estar en el canal. Bienvenido. Es un gusto poder tenerlo por primera vez en el canal. Esperemos que sea mucha más. Vamos a hablar sobre American Trash. Es una historia totalmente reveladora. Se aplican dos justicias, la personal y la institucional. ¿Cómo enfrenta American Trash la idea de que la justicia se toma por manos equivocadas, ¿no? Porque suele convertirse más bien en autodestruirse que redimirse, ¿no?
Okay, another complex question from Jhon. But we know that American Trash deals with the personal justice and the institutional justice. So, how does American Trash confront the idea that justice, when taken in their own hands, can become an act of self-destruction rather than redemption?
I think the whole point in my film was to convey that there is no justice in the world that I created. That the deck, the cards are stacked. There's no ministry of logic in how this society functions. So I don't even know if my movie has anything to do with personal justice or institutional justice. It has everything to do with transcendence. A man who's facing things that are beyond his capability to understand and to fathom and to process and recover from. And so he deals with it in the best way he can. So I think it's a very honest response to events that occur in people's lives, tragically, that make no sense. And sometimes people deal with them in such a way that from the outside perspective seems irrational. But from the point of view of the person going through it, ultimately, I believe it can free them. And the other aspect of the question was redemption, and self-destruction. I don't feel that my movie is about self-destruction either. I feel that it's about a way to find redemption in a very unconventional way. And to most people's minds, it may seem extreme, irrational, but the world, like I said, that I created is an irrational world. And the world that I currently look at these days, when I look at the news, doesn't seem to function in a state of equanimity. It's all over the place. It's chaos out there. So I just thought my film was bluntly honest about how 2 + 2 does not equal 4. I mean, ideally, it does in the mathematical equations, but not in the way humanity functions. It's a circus out there, in my opinion. So I just wanted to make a film that was controversial in its ideology along those lines. Yeah.
Esto se me hizo como un paralelismo cinematográfico. ¿Crees tú que a pesar de que la dirección se hace recordar a su primera participación en el cine, China Girl, que es como el amor entre bandas? Eso es increíble.
Jhon said that, and it's a crazy question, by the way. Do you feel that American Trash somehow got like a parallel with China Girl, your first movie, because it's about a world of bands, man? And tell us whatever you want.
I never thought about this, but he makes very insightful observation, Jhon. Excellent. Abel Ferrara's China Girl. Similarities between China Girl and American Trash. Well, they're both tragic, and they also involve a doomed love affair. So, yeah. But when I made the film, I didn't borrow from anything from that time of my career or movies I've been in. So, but now that you bring it up, it's curious. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I think there's that similarity, and in China Girl, it's an Asian woman, a young woman, falls in love with a young Italian man, and clearly this is taboo because the families on both sides are at war with each other between Chinatown and the border that separates Little Italy from the other world, and so yeah, that's a family affair. Mine is more of a circumstantial culprit that intrudes on this couple who find solace for a moment in this very turbulent, tempestuous world that they live in Venice, California. But still, there are similarities, I guess, now that you brought it up.
Has contribuido en trabajar con los más grandes de las cintas, no solo independientes, también taquilleras, pero hay algo que quiero reflejar sobre el legado de Tom Sizemore. Él ahí en la historia hace algo referente a que como es un forense, es muy difícil ver a alguien que ya no está con nosotros. Entonces, esta pregunta va como al legado de Tom Sizemore. Yo sé que de pronto va a ser un poco complicado, es porque la película es considerada un tributo a su estilo narrativo y su manera de encarnar personajes. Imagínate, viendo un cuerpo de él, cómo será a nosotros ver que ya no está Tom. ¿Cómo crees que su influencia se refleja en la construcción de la historia? Y claro, en la interpretación de los actores.
But John is talking that also, like yourself, that you had worked on independent cinema, big productions for decades. Also, this movie, we got the performance of one of the greatest, Tom Sizemore. So yeah, the question is about the legacy of Tom. The film is considered a tribute to his narrative style and his way of embodying complex characters. How do you think this influence is reflected in the construction of the story of the performance of the actors?
Tom Sizemore's legacy. The film isn't a tribute to Tom Sizemore's legacy in terms of the narrative. It's just a tribute to him because he was a very close friend of mine. And I thought he was well suited for the role. The character that he plays, Detective Kelly, has to console a young woman when she finds out that her sister was murdered. And so I needed an actor who could convey a sensitivity, an innocence, and a realism that would affect the audience. And I feel it did. Clearly has personal meaning to me because I had a friendship with Tom, and because I know he struggled in his life and has seen a lot and had become maybe somewhat like myself, disillusioned, like some police officers and detectives are. I thought he would also be able to manifest the character in a very realistic way because of his life. And it worked to me perfectly. Yeah. I miss him.
También hay que complementar no solo este tema de tributo, también de poder representar en la historia la camaradería, como dicen los buenos amigos, referente a cómo se plasma en la historia. Hay uno que me pareció muy bueno y es el tema de la interpretación del Rich Random. O sea, él interpreta un personaje ideal al protagonista, incluso lo apoya cuando está equivocado en todo. O sea, la idea es que cómo se construye la película al momento de abordar una lealtad ciega, ¿no? Sin medir las consecuencias. ¿Cómo se puede aprender? ¿Se puede aprender de esta película siempre?
Okay, and continuing with the last answer, of course, Jhon stands your words, your kind words and honest words. Wow, Tom, one of the greatest. Jhon is asking now about, I know the word in English is like camaraderie, friendship, I don't know, and loyalty. For the character of Rich Random, that is loyal to protagonist even when I don't know, because you said that you don't feel that the character is blonde, but even when he does things so crazy, so how do you think the film deals with the issue, sorry, of blind loyalty and his consequences?
Let's see, Rich R. Rendon, who plays Ty in American Trash. Camaraderie and blind loyalty, or camaraderie versus blind loyalty. I don't think it's a case of blind loyalty. I think it's a case of love for brother. The Ty character isn't much different than Millis, to my mind, in the way that I conceived him. I think that Millis is the obvious aspect of Ty that acts out and is extreme. And both men deal with similar struggles of conflict within themselves. Clearly, Ty's character is a Buddhist. He's a healer, a psychic, and is assigned to Millis as a friend through Melissa. And they develop a friendship and a love. But this idea that the moral structures have to function in a traditional sense, once again, is not what I was intending to do. I wanted to demonstrate that when you care about someone and share a similar struggle, you're willing to take the beating for the friend at any cost. And people can judge it right or wrong. They can consider it immoral, or the consequences are dire and destructive, but I don't see it that way. And I didn't want to sell a hallmark of traditional notions of virtue and morality in my film. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be honest in what I believe, and what I've experienced in life, how some people will be witness to what people might consider extreme folly or destructive behavior, and not necessarily encourage it, but allow it to happen so that there can be a greater lesson learned in the overall circumstance. And to some people, that's controversial, irrational, but it didn't matter to me. I thought that the love these two men had for each other was more important than any notion of consequence. And also the Millis character, at a certain pivotal point in the movie, makes a decision to disassociate from the people that he feels will suffer because of his actions. So I think that if you watch the entire movie, what you come away with is that sometimes it's okay to take risks, especially when you love someone. And the law and morality suggests it's wrong.
El buen trabajo de Lorelei. Oh, muy buen trabajo el de ella. La tuvimos en el canal. Espero que más adelante esté nuevamente. Quiero hablar sobre los estereotipos que se habla respecto a romperlos. Lorelei ha hecho un trabajo excepcional desafiando las nociones tradicionales entre el amor y la edad. El personaje de Miles tiene 60 y el personaje que hace Lorelei, Melissa, es de 30 años. Así que, ¿qué mensaje crees que transmite el personaje a la percepción al amor? ¿Se adapta a la sociedad actual?
Okay, this question is just about Lorelei Linklater. We got it on the channel. We got it again. She is always she's pushing boundaries, no? As an actress. I love every movie she has made since boyhood. So yeah, the question is, it's about breaking stereotypes. She challenged traditional notions about love and age. You know, not your character got like 60 years and her character got like 30 in this movie. So the question is, what are the messages that you think her character conveys regarding the perception of love in today's society? You know that society is really... I want to listen to your answer at this question, man, because we love that role and we love that daring performance of her.
Lorelei Linkletter, the character Melissa, challenging traditional notions about love and age. First of all, traditional notions seem to be falling by the wayside, especially lately in 2025. So as far as conventional thinking goes, I don't know if it has a place in my film. Clearly, it doesn't. I've seen evidence quite often in my life that people connect for all sorts of reasons. Some people, it's a superficial attraction. Other people, it has more of a deeper meaning because of a shared belief, a culture, philosophy, things that people have in common that are important to them, so that they have something to talk about once the honeymoon phase of the relationship kind of fades. I think there has to be a foundation to hold the weight of responsibility that two people bear in a mature, functioning relationship. And so I thought it was important to introduce an ideology that both the characters share, Millis and Melissa, that was profound to each of them, and ultimately would hold the weight of that love because of how meaningful their beliefs were and similar. So I think that transcends age, conventional thinking, and everything else that doesn't work. So yeah, and I thought she did a great job. Yeah.
Bueno, Robert, la verdad ha sido un inmenso placer que hayas estado en el canal y cómo define el trabajo en una palabra y bueno, el saludo Andrés.
¿La película o la carrera?
La carrera. O la película,
Okay.
puede ser.
Jhon always do this question. I don't know if we can use it for both answers. How do you define American Trash and also your career in one word, man?
Well, at this stage, I mean, I don't like to define anything. When you define, you confine. But since you asked me the question, I would just simply say that it's evolution. That's the word. Evolution.
Okay, before we end this with, the social media, final picture, you got a lot of fans, but there is a special fan, a friend of mine. It's called Julio Guevara. Julio. So if you can send a bit high, because when Jhon posted the interview, you will interview him. Just please, I want a hi from him. Just, okay, go ahead. So man, if you can send a bit hi to Julio Guevara, go ahead, man. The camera is yours.
Julio, hola amigo. I appreciate the support and for what I do, and it means a lot to me. I forget that there are people like yourself that enjoy what I do as an artist. I don't always enjoy it, but what I enjoy more than my own reflection is men like you who can look at it and take from it something that make their lives feel that the entertainment serves a profound purpose in their lives. So I'm glad for people like you, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Gregory, take care, man. Take care.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Peace.
Bye, man. Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much. Bye.